Hey everybody, and welcome back. I'm Eric for President. Please leave a like to support today's video. Of course though, our first story is going to revolve around the release of the Steam Workshop for Half-Life Alyx, and considering it hasn't been more than a few months since the release of Half-Life Alyx, that's not bad for Valve time. Now these tools will allow developers, but also enthusiasts just like you and me, to create custom Half-Life Alyx content and publish mods via the Steam Workshop, which includes making new models, new levels, new animations, and more. You can see here some of what is being released now that it's in its beta, but expect more to come in the future, and you'll pretty much have everything you need here to make some awesome new Half-Life Alyx content. For those wanting an in-depth wiki on how to use the Steam Workshop, you can check out the link in the video description, which you're seeing here on screen. It's a really good tool going through a lot that you'll need to know. Now this is of course just a beta, it's not the full SDK yet, and if Valve ever decides to release either the source code, plugins, or both or more, that's when we're going to see some radically new content coming from Half-Life Alyx that I'm very excited about the possibilities for. But the nice thing now is we do at least have a melee weapon. We have lightsabers. Please go out and check this mod by YOLO Cause. Now Half-Life Alyx is one of those games that for those who've already played it, they definitely want more content, and for new VR users who just got headsets, they are likely going to be purchasing this game as well, so it's just adding a lot more value. I look at where Beat Saber started and where it is now, with notes having arms and legs and some of the most visually impressive things I've seen in the backdrops. The modding community keeps adding more and more value to VR, and I'm excited to see what they do with this. Now in our next story, as we just keep moving forward with technology, I'm looking forward to both AR and VR in an XR headset really working together to provide a lot of utility for new users, something that will help bridge the gap on cost because the value keeps rising. With AR right now having a lot of applications, and a new tool is out now, at least in early access, that you can request called the AR copy paste tool. Let's talk about it. The AR copy paste tool allows users to take a photo of an object and then drop that image into a desktop computer program with their smartphone. The app uses augmented reality and machine learning to detect objects in the real world, and by focusing on the object detected, they can even remove backgrounds without editing software. Once done, and you can use the app on your smartphone to take the copied image and paste that image into a computer program, right now on all Adobe products as well. Per the developer, thanks to modern developments in machine learning, it is now possible to precisely detect people and objects around you, remove the background automatically, and transfer the results to virtually any software on your computer. Now for those who want to try this out, you can go to the website and sign up for possible early access with just your email. But I'll say this, in my opinion, I love things like this, especially AR, because it provides a lot of utility and value to people. There is a reason that people spend thousands of dollars on a cell phone but won't spend $399 on a VR headset. And there's a lot more reasons than just one, but between perceived value, utility, social acceptance, these all factor into it. And I'm excited when I see things like this with AR that I can envision later on in an XR headset that can do both VR and AR, really bridging that gap, adding a lot of perceived utility, perceived value, which will ultimately lead to social acceptance, and that just makes us all better in the long run. Let me know your thoughts. In our next story, a sneaky update that Oculus did that is tremendously awesome, but they didn't tell anyone about it. You now can remove that pesky red dot when recording on your Oculus Quest. For those who record regularly on the Oculus Quest, you know that when recording any footage, there is that red dot on the upper right view, which doesn't show on recordings thankfully, but it's very annoying to some, and now you can get rid of it. Simply head into your settings, go under devices, and scroll all the way to the bottom. Once there, uncheck the box, and now the red dot is gone. It's really nice to see this feature being an opt-out first model instead of just being naturally off for good. The red dot, for a lot of those who do not record regularly, is a great indicator that everything is recording and it's working as it should, because a lot of things that you aren't really expecting can actually stop the recording. Simply taking off the headset or even pausing it sometimes can have the effect of stopping the recording. So the red dot, I think, is crucial to be their standard. But for those who regularly record and are used to it and willing to take that chance, they know what they're doing, I'm glad to finally see it's gone, because I want the most immersive experience possible, not a red dot on just every screen. But it's now available for everyone to do right now. Also, regarding the Oculus Quest, there is a video that's been going around and I've seen quite a bit on Twitter and Reddit from the Mysticle, another YouTuber who does both tech and VR related videos. I'll link him in the video description. All his videos seem super helpful. I really like them and I think he does a great job. But in one of his most recent VR videos, he reviews how to bump up the resolution of the Oculus Quest using a few ADB commands. Now, his video is really well done. His method will definitely work, but I was very surprised seeing this on Twitter, Reddit, and other places, with many people not knowing that this was possible and that they didn't know there's an even easier way to go about it all on your PC with SideQuest. All you have to do is simply connect your Oculus Quest to SideQuest, hit the little wrench tool in the upper right hand corner, and here you will have a bunch of other options, such as the useful full rate capture for recordings, setting your fixed foveated rendering for performance versus quality, setting video capture sizes, and most importantly, the texture size going all the way to 3K quality. This increase will undoubtedly increase the power consumption as well as the heat of the Oculus Quest, and if the Oculus Quest gets too hot, it will start throttling your GPU and CPU, but the Oculus Quest does have active cooling, so that will help, although in my experience, I do not know how much each individual game will affect the heat of your Oculus Quest. Some games are naturally super sampled even higher than you expect, so in reality you could be well above 3K and really creating a lot of heat on your Oculus Quest. Of course, battery will also be a concern. It will most likely drain quicker, and all these settings that you tweak will have to be redone every time you shut down or reset the headset. But for those who didn't know, SideQuest is a tremendously great tool to edit these, and they really can have a big effect on your experience in a positive way, so give them a shot, but experiment with what works for certain games and what may not work for others. And before our final story, a really quick shout out to Studioform Creative. They did send me some products to test for my Valve Index and Oculus Quest, including this counterweight right here. I really enjoyed it. The more and more I keep using my Oculus Quest, I keep finding that, especially for like virtual desktop and watching anime, even with the Vive Deluxe audio strap mod that I have with this, it is still sometimes too front heavy, and it's nice to have a little counterweight in the back. Now, this is not a paid ad. There are no affiliate links. I was given this product for free. However, it's cheap. It's great quality. It definitely helped my experience out. Give them a look. Their link will be down in the video description. And in our final story, let's talk about CloudXR, what it is, when you should see it, and what effect it will have on VR gaming as a whole. Although we have known about CloudXR for a bit, NVIDIA has now launched version 1.0 of its Cloud SDK. With CloudXR, VR and AR content can be streamed over wireless or wired networks to any end device. Now, it's obvious the goal here is to reduce overall friction by removing the largest barrier to VR, and that is of course the cost. By rendering the visuals in the cloud and streaming them to a host device like an XR capable headset, we can bypass expensive VR rigs or overly complicated headsets. NVIDIA says the CloudXR system can stream any Steam VR content without any special modifications to the streamed application. Now, this won't see the end users for quite a while. This is just something in development that people will start working with, and maybe we'll see the benefits of it down the road, but undoubtedly anything that reduces the friction and the cost of a VR experience is paramount to getting this into more people's hands. Now, depending on your views, some people love the possibility of VR cloud gaming, and some others are saying it will never work based on both latency issues as well as the need for a steady 5G connection. Now, while I personally think cloud gaming is the future, I can understand where everyone's coming from, and I do think latency needs to be as close to 0, maybe 10 milliseconds max. Low latency is key, so we'll see how this all plays out. But that is the end of today's video. Please leave a like to support it. I'll see you in the next one, VR Space Cowboys.